guys, welcome to a new video. Merry Vlogmas Day, is it 8 or 9? It's 9. Merry Vlogmas Day 9. Today we are going to be looking at my reading plans for the next year, that being 2026. So if you guys are curious what my reading is going to look like next year, what books I'm going to be reading, how I plan out my reading year, stay tuned. I do have notes here on my phone so I don't leave out anything. And let me know, have any of y'all updated your phone to the system update like 26.1? I do not recommend. It is so slow and laggy, and to go between tabs you have to click so many more buttons now. It's not fun. A lot of people, myself included, set up a reading goal every year. So this is how many books you want to read in 2026, each year. This year, I am not going to hit my reading goal for the first time since like 2018, since when I really started tracking my reading whenever I first got Goodreads, so 2017, 2018, sometime in that ballpark. I mean, I could, but I don't think it's going to be possible. It would be very difficult. So at the moment, let's say if I don't finish another book this year, which, I mean, that's not going to happen, I would set my goal of 104 books. But how do I choose what number of books I am going to read or set out to read each year? What I do is I basically just go one up from however many books I have finished in the previous year. So far in 2025, I have read 103 books. So in 2026, I would like to read 104 books. I just up it by one number. Even if I didn't hit that goal that I had this year, which I think was like 143, didn't hit that, I'm not going to be like, okay, we're going to take this back and do 52 books or something like that. No, we're just going to go to whatever number I did read and up that by one, and just each year try to get better. It's not always going to happen, but I'm not going to penalize myself in any way for not hitting that reading goal. Also, I didn't put this in the notes. How do I choose how many books I will read each month? So basically, I look back at the previous month. So I plan my TBRs 3 months out, because I actually had this conversation with one of my friends last night that I am somebody, I have to have a strict TBR. If I didn't, I would not read at all. I am somebody, I have to have a routine. I don't know, I don't know what kind of personality they call that, but I'm somebody, I have to have a to-do list of things I'm going to do. So I do plan my TBRs 3 months out, but I always just do it, okay, how many books did I complete in the current month? So let's say December right now. I have completed 2 books in December so far, but only one of those came from my TBR, so that therefore my March TBR has at least 1 book on it. So I basically just do how many books did I finish this one month, that's how many books we'll put on the next TBR, because I know that that's possible for me. I know that I can read 8 books a month. So that is how I set up how many books I read each month. Something that I did this year is I put no page limit, no chapter limit. I used to be like, I need to read 3 chapters in this book a day to finish it in 5 days. Something like that. I don't think that was necessarily good for my reading. I'm not going to say it was bad, but I didn't read as many books as I usually do. And I don't even think that I read as many great books, but I do think that can fall in. I'm not reading as many books, so therefore there's not a big probability that I'm going to be reading great books, because the more books you read, the more chances you have for a book to be great. I need to cut out of my vocabulary. I'm trying. But I had that goal for myself this year, and I don't know. But we're going to attempt it again this year, because I give everything 3 chances. So we're going to chance number 2 this year of no page limit, no time, or no chapter limit. I'm just going to be like, okay, I'm doing my reading strengths where I'm reading 3 to 4 o'clock, reading 6 to 7:30, and if I just, however much I get done in those times, that's how much I get done in a day. It's whatever feels right. I don't want to force myself to read. I don't want to not read at all. I do want to read every day, and I have read every single day for a year now. I'm so proud of myself for that. Yeah, really proud of myself. Now this is my favorite part of the video, telling y'all what is going to be the theme for the reading in 2026. So in 2025, it was reading the highest rated books on my TBR according to Goodreads, and we do sort it by genre. In 2026, we are going to be reading the shortest books on my TBR according to Goodreads. I read a lot of beefy. I'm currently just going through this last quarter of the year. I've read so many big, thick, dense books. I cannot wait for 2026 where I'm going to be reading the shortest books on my TBR. And another reason I'm doing this is to combat where I didn't read as many books as I have in years past this year. And with shorter books, I can get more books read. And that's why in my videos this year, I've been showing y'all the shortest books on my TBRs. Now, obviously, that can change because I'm bringing books into my collection. I'm unhauling books out of my collection. It's, a constant process of books coming in and out of my home. But we are going to focus on the shortest books on my TBR in 2026. With my book buying, it's going to be the same. Each month when I go to Barnes & Noble, I am going to buy the shortest books on my to-buy list. I have a to-buy list for each genre that I read. I read about 8 genres. And I would, in January, we're going to look for the shortest sci-fi books on my to-buy list according to Goodreads. And each month we will, go with whatever genre. So we are even going to be adding shorter books to the collection. I also will still be adding a nonfiction book and a graphic novel to my TBR every month. I really liked how I did that in 2025 because at some points in my reading journey, I was only reading nonfiction in November. For the past few years, I only read nonfiction in November and was not reading it any other time. And I have a whole 3-tier bookcase over there that's just nonfiction books. I have nonfiction books behind me. I need to be prioritizing and get into those books. So I do add one to my TBR every month. I think nonfiction is just as important as reading fiction. Nonfiction is not boring. It's not like school or something like that. It is so important to continue put that information in your mind so you can learn and grow. And with graphic novels, I want to be reading all different kinds of media. And with my graphic novels, they were really put on the back burner. I was just accumulating buying graphic novels and not reading them. So I do add one to my TBR every month. And sometimes that might be a children's book because I think you can learn something from every single book that you read. And if y'all have read A Man Called Ove by Frederick Bachman, there's a great theme in that book that you can learn something from anyone. Any kind of person, but especially any age, from a senior citizen to a toddler. You can learn from everybody, all different ages, and that's why I read children's books. That's why I read middle grade, young adult, because you can learn something from everybody. So I do like to read children's books as well, because I've had people in the past be like, that's not real reading because you're reading board books. You're not reading 500-page fantasy novels. One, you shouldn't dictate what other people are reading, and as I just said, you can learn something from every single kind of book that you pick up. The book club will still be happening in 2026. If you guys would like to join, the Fable link is always down below, and we will be, again, focusing on the shortest books on my TBR according to Goodreads. That's why I was saying we when I was talking about my TBR, because y'all are free and welcome to read these books with me. I love a good buddy read. I have struggled with our buddy read this month, but we'll be better in 2026. I promise that that is the one book each month that I put focus on. Like, I have to read that book in the month because, there's other people relying on me. And I personally love that experience so much of reading a book with somebody else. See, reading is so amazing. It builds friendships and you're seeing all these different views on the book. So definitely feel free to join. And again, these are going to be short books. A lot of them under 200 pages that we're going to be reading in 2026. So I hope that you guys jump on the bandwagon, join the Fable Book Club, because I would love to pick up a book with y'all. I do want to go through what genre am I focusing on in each month. This hasn't changed, but if you are new here and want to know what it looks like each month, I'm going to share that with y'all. In January, I focus on science fiction. In February, I focus on romance. March is historical fiction. April is for classics. May is for contemporary literary fiction. And then June through August is summer break. So what do we do in there? There's a wide variety here. We can do books that maybe were on TBRs in the past, but I didn't quite get to them, so they get pushed to a June or July or August TBR. In July, that's my birthday month, so I like to treat myself with just books that I've really been anticipating or think that I'm really going to love. It's kind of like mood reading that we do there. I even do some challenges sometimes, like a bookish scavenger hunt to find a book to read. That one is just a big toss-up. In August, that is the month where I do a series focus, and I will tell y'all right now, it's going to be Divergent in 2026. I haven't done like a formal announcement like that before, but I do want to reread the Divergent books. And then there's a book that is like a forest perspective. I actually never got around to picking up that book back then, and I think I was in middle school when those books were coming out. So we are going to read that now. And so yes, August is either going to, this August will be a series focus and a reread, but August will always be a series focus or a focus month on rereading. In September, we focus on thrillers. October is for horror. Nonfiction is in November. And in December, we read fantasy. And I did get a new reading journal. I got it from a small business over on Etsy. I will have them linked down below in the description of this video because they were fantastic, super sweet, and just such creative people. And I want to give them just a huge shout out because they were amazing. But we are going to jump to that perspective now to look at that book. Let's look at that reading tracker that I was telling you about. So on the first page, you have a lot of different stickers, some that have tropes, the months, the genres, and then just cute little kind of witchy stickers. I wasn't expecting that, but I was super excited to see. And there are the rest of the months down at the bottom of the page. This is coming from the Book Sisters over on Etsy. I cannot recommend them enough. I'm super thrilled about this. So this is the first page. There's how I rate my books. If you guys would like a separate video on that, be sure to let me know. Now my spice rating, I'm still coming up with that, but your reading essentials, favorite tropes, genres, favorite books, bookish this or that, favorite series, top 3 reading goals, favorite authors. So there's still some sections that I need to fill out. And I mainly do a lot of this on that awkward week between Christmas and New Year's. And on here, you can put all the books that you read in the year. I'm just going to highlight. In my reading journal this year, I actually wrote out the names, but some book names are long. So I'm just going to highlight a book each time I finish a book. Now you have this page that has new releases. I'm not really one to keep up with new releases, but when I see them, I will be putting them down onto this page. Now this is the reading tracker where you put each book that you read. So you have the number of which book of the year that is, the title, the author, and then your star rating of each book. This is just a simple look, and there's over 200 slots in here. So plenty of spots to put all of your reads. The next page is your 5-star reads, which kind of has the same info with which number, the title, the author, and the date read. Now, if I had this many 5-star reads, I'm honestly going to be blessed. You can have 50 of them. Please happen to me. This is the DNF page, again, with number, title, author, and date read. I don't DNF books, but if you do. This is a duology or trilogy tracker. It has all that info for future release dates, the series name, title of the books in the series, and what you rated each book. We also have this for series as well. I've never been one to keep up with all this, so this is going to be something new for me. It has the number of books in the series, the future release dates, the title of the books, and what you would rate each book, and then the series name and author name as well. So there's a lot of those. I don't know how I feel about it. It's a lot. Now here is your author backlist. So if there's an author and you're wanting to get to their backlist, you can write the books on the backlist, highlight when you finish. That would be a great way to do that. This is a trope tracker to keep track of what tropes you're reading. I think this would be great if you are a romance reader. Now here's the TBR page. It has title, author, and then recommended from. I can't tell you who every single book I have is recommended by, so I'm doing that to put my format because I do want to put an emphasis on reading from each kind of different formats, ebook, physical and audio as well. So this is book mail. I'm going to do it just as book haul in general, but it has the date, the book name, and all of that. So this is a really cool section. I haven't done one of these in a while, but you can do habit trackers or whatever. I'm going to do if I read over 100 pages or whatever in a day. There's a genre tracker as well. We talked about all the genres I read. I also added poetry and anthologies there. And then you can just highlight each time you finish a book in that genre. And this is the reading tracker. So whatever your reading goal is, like mine right now would be 104, highlight each time you finish a book. And here's your yearly reading stats. You had the month, the number of books, the number of pages you finished, how many 5 stars, 4 stars, so on. If you had any DNFs, and how many physical books did you read? How many audiobooks did you read? How many ebooks did you read? And these are different fun challenges: Rainbow Challenge, Seasonal Challenge, A to Z Challenge. That's going to be fun because I don't really do that kind of stuff. So just to add something different to my reading, it's going to be exciting to do. And then monthly recaps. I love these pages. So again, this is where you use those stickers with the month names. So you can put your new releases there, your hopefuls, that's my TBR, and then the actual books that you've read. And then you have your reading recap, which you would put your number of books read, number of pages read, hours listened, your formats, your favorite author of the month, what days you read, your top 3 reads, genres read, favorite quote, and then just a little fun thing at the bottom that I'll probably put stickers on. And here's for February, March. And as I said, I plan my reading 3 months out, so I haven't got to those other months yet. Now you have your book reviews. Again, this is one of the reasons I bought this. Now these little, where you would put the title, that's very small, so I am nervous about that, but title, author, page count, the date you started, the date you finished, the genre it was, the format, the star rating, the spice rating, the tropes, the series, if it is in a series, yes or no, and what book in the series it is, and the series name. I think this planner or journal is really geared towards romance readers, but that is all that is in the journal. I wish there was a yearly wrapped page. Maybe there is at the end of the monthly recaps, but that is everything in here. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you made it all the way through, leave a Christmas emoji in the comments below. And as always, comment, rate, and subscribe. And don't forget to ring that notification bell to be notified when all my videos go live. I'll see you in my next one. Bye! If you are familiar with my videos, you're used to seeing Sherman at the end of them. Sadly, Sherman has since passed away, but I would still like to encourage you guys to help your local shelters. Sherman was at the Darlington County Humane Society in rural South Carolina. I always have their link down below in the description if you guys would like to help them, but also help your local shelters as well. You can do that by donating, sharing posts like this one, volunteering, fostering, and adopting, which it's great to do all of those things. Great to help your community, great to help the animals in your community, and I cannot recommend it enough. All of my pets were rescues, they were strays or from animal shelters, and I love them so much, and I know how much love they can give, so knowing these pets at the shelter can equally give that much love, it's amazing. And y'all should totally take part and help out those local animal shelter pets, and please help them.